Good morning, Turtle Club. Hope everybody's having a great Monday. We're starting the stream a little bit early today for a number of reasons. Shift ended on time. I was able to get all my work stuff wrapped up. I was able to get the streaming stuff set up because I did some pre-setup yesterday since the stream ended early anyways. So we had a lot of good things going for us, and I was really hoping that we'd be able to start a little bit early because we got to we beat Gem 5, right? Rustboro City. We took on our father. We took him out on this Pokemon Pocket Monster Monday where we're playing Emerald. And now we are on our way to, we'll just pull up the Pokemon so you guys can see with the way this game's split. Now, it's kind of interesting, right? So we've been all the way over all this. And Mr. Briny, he'll take us on this route here, and this is the way we can travel there because that's his little bitty area off of Petalburg City. We've already been in Rustboro. I mean, this whole entire west side of the map, we've not really completely cleared because there's like a shipwreck somewhere here on like 107 or 108, something like that. And there's a couple of caves for Reggie stuff over this way. Things that aren't going to be part of the 100% completion, but we will be working toward getting some of these Reggies if that's the people or the Pokemon that everyone's thinking that we should take in for the Elite Four. We're about to hit one of the most dreaded routes in Pokemon because we're going toward Fort Tree City because the next gym we have to take on is Faulkner. Gym 6. One of those gyms that sticks out in my head is the Bird Gym. Now, some good things. One, we have a great Pokemon to take on the Bird Gym, and that is our Manectric, who evolved in the last stream. We have been grinding on our Manectric, and our Manectric is fairly high level now for this area of the game. He's 30. When we get to Faulkner, most of his stuff is in like the high 20s. So that's amazing. Another thing that we swung by and picked up that we keep forgetting to do in stream because we get going and forget about it is the EXP share. So if we take a look here, take the EXP share. We have EXP share now, which has made all of this so much easier. After you deliver the letter from Steven is the key to that. I actually had to Google that because I forgot specifically what did it, and where to grab it. But that's Rustboro, back to Silphco, back to the top, and then talk to the actual Steven's father, and bam, you get the XP share. So we have our Marshtomp, he's 33, Mighty Ina, Manectric, Vigoroth, and Gyarados. Both these we'd like to level up, if at all possible. Now, all of that said, two really important Pokemon happen to be on Route 19 or 119. And we're going to basically jet through Mauville, swim across the little bit of ocean here, and then hit this and go all the way north. And the two that are kind of important is Tropius, which is just a cool Pokemon in my opinion, in one of the medium kind of grass Pokemon in the game. But the super important one for the Elite Four and for Faulkner, arguably, is Feebas. Now, we're going to start heading toward... Oh, that's our other item. Wait. Hey, Watson. Oh, this too. So we can go in. So we get I forgot about that. Wow. So we can go to New Mauville and we can pick up some electric Pokemon. Now, we already have one of the best electric types in the game for single play, and that's Manectric. So we're not going to go to New Mauville and do what Watson's wanting us to do until we need it to advance the game. I don't know if it's required in Emerald or not, but we are going to do, and it's for those that are watching on replay. You're probably going to want to fast forward a bit. We hope to have some conversation with the Lurk Squad if they decide to speak up. If not, it's cool. We're right there with you, Lurk Squad. We also hope to have some conversation with our members who come in to watch today. And because this stream is going to be quite lengthy, I've already cleared most of the initial trainers here. Some of these trainers are kind of cool. Like, if you look, every time I go left, that dude goes right. Every time I go right, that guy goes left. If I go down, he goes up. If I go up, he goes down. These are the mimic circle people. Within a certain bound area, they will only move ways that I go, in the opposite direction. Now, as far as fighting goes, sure, we absolutely going to do some attacks, and most of these ought to be pretty easy fights. Occasionally, we'll find some stuff where they do things like this, you know, bury themselves back or what have you. At Swampert, we now have Surf, which is one of the best water attacks in the whole game. We're going to just abuse that. We hope that we get this guy leveled all the way up to 36, which is when he should become... he should be Swampert instead of Marshtomp. Keep calling him Swampert because I just keep wanting him to be Swampert. In this tall grass here is where Tropius should be. So we'll kind of explore around here for a Tropius. But the big thing, the really annoying thing, the thing that we've decided to name today's video on, today's stream, is Feebas. Oh, Feebas. Oh, Feebas. So, Feebas is the unevolved form of Milotic, which I think is a horrible way to pronounce that Pokemon's name, because I think melodic is melodic, how you want to say either way, is much better sounding than Milotic. But I'm not Nintendo, I'm not Game Freak, I don't decide how people pronounce it in the show. I just know that when I hear them say it, I feel like they're wrong. But it is a really amazing stat of Pokemon, which is insanely hard to get. So we're going to check our Pokenav. We're going to verify that we are in Route 119. Everything here is 119, and this is what Milotic requires, guys. This is what Feebas requires in this game. Remember, this is the Dark Ages of Pokemon. Anywhere where there's water in Route 119, you have a chance to get a Feebas, and it's a rather high chance. I want to throw that out there, that the chances of getting a Feebas are pretty good once you find the spot that Feebas is in. Now, that said, and this is why I hate doing this, the odds of finding Feebas is there's 6 squares in the whole entire map that Feebas can spawn in, and it's random based upon lots of math, and I do mean lots of math. Your username, your internal serial number for your cartridge, and your trendy phrase all are part of the random number that gets generated for Feebas. Now, it's pretty gross, which means that there's no way that if anyone else is playing this game at the exact same time, that we can both have Feebases in the exact same spot. Now, it was a race when Digrat and I first played this on Ruby and Sapphire to find who could find it first. And it was one of those kind of moments, right? Don't really want to be fighting Magikarps. It was just one of those. Now you may notice I'm fishing the same spot, right? There is again, it's a very high chance in the square that Feebas can be in to get a Feebas. It's something like 1 out of 5. It will be in any spot that a Carvanha can be in. So once you've cast your line, it's fished up like 5 Pokemon, and none of them have been. Oh, this is a rather big one. That's worth a hit. We'll absolutely take down on this. So once you basically fished up like 5 Pokemon and none of them are Carvanha, then you can pretty much rest assured that you're not going to find a Feebas there. Hey, you've got a level 25 Gyarados. And he's trying to learn Dragon Rage. Yes, we absolutely want to get rid of one of your moves with Dragon Rage, buddy. Say goodbye to Splash. You're no longer going to be jumping and trying to win points in a jumping contest. So we fished up 3 Pokemon. We're working on the 4th one. And there are some people that are like, oh, there's a Carvanha. So we've gotten a Carvanha. So that means that Feebas does have a chance of being here. But we don't know if it's one of those 6. Presumably, the odds of fishing up a Feebas is 1 out of 5 in a space that a Feebas can be in. Meanwhile, these giant Magikarps will suffice for some things. So now that we've fished up 5 Pokemon and we didn't get a single Feebas, we can move on to the next square. And you guys heard that right. But this is one of the best Pokemon in the game. And it's one of those things like with the stream series that we're doing here. The way it works is any Pokemon we catch must be done on stream. We can level up. Any evolution has to be on stream. Any Pokemon we catch has to be on stream. Those were the rules that we agreed to when we first started. And we definitely want to get Feebas. So, 1 square down. And we're working on square number 2. And every time I have a misclick, I cringe inside a lot. But, you know, hopefully you guys are having a great Monday. You know, this is not exactly the most frustrating or stressful thing to be doing, I guess. And it's not that horrible, arguably. And I'll tell you why. Because Generation 4 has a very similar mechanic. It's pretty... you know, it's frustrating if you don't get it when you're looking for it. And if you fail the little fishing minigame, that's kind of frustrating too. I mean, I won't lie. But at least I know for a fact that if I systematically and methodically go through and eliminate every single square on this map and don't touch my trendy phrase and Dewford, I know that I will eventually catch Feebas. So, in Generation 4, however, and it's Diamond and Pearl and Platinum, the mechanic changed. There is a place that Feebas spawns. Instead of there being 6 tiles that you can catch a Feebas on, there's 4. So, 2 less tiles. We'll start off with that, right? not only is there a different mechanic, but the number of squares that you potentially could catch Feebas on has been reduced by a third. The other thing is the random seed for those tiles is generated and re-rolled every day. Clock hits midnight, Feebas shovels. Like, so that means if you are pressed for time, like me, right? I've got an hour to play a day. I grind a little bit in between things at work. But when the clock rolls over, with this at least, I have a chance, not the best chance, but a chance to continue on and trying to hunt for a Feebas. But imagine I was playing Diamond and Pearl and Platinum instead. I would have a span of 24 hours. That'd be it. 24 hours. Start the clock. If I start at midnight, 24 hours, at the next stroke of midnight, it'd be different. Now, there are some tactics and techniques that you can take to kind of abuse that fact that I've seen some people do. And that is they simply roll their clock every chance they get to keep fishing in the same spot so they don't have to move. And since they know it's going to keep randomizing it, law of averages on their side, they'll eventually catch a Pokemon. That's not exactly. Oh, this is another large size magic card, and we just ran away instead. Not even a nibble, not even a nibble, not even a nibble. And I've seen all sorts of crazy things as far as conspiracy theories. When this game was live, right? When this game was new, when it was just out. So this was number 4. We still haven't seen a Carvana happen. I would dare say that we're not going to see one here. We'll still check here just to be certain, because that was Pokemon 4. This will be 5. Yeah, not even a Carvana. Okay. And the whole entire spawn entries for every single tile here randomizes. Alright, we can't fish there. Alright. It should be noted that any fish rod will catch a Pokemon. Here's a fairly decent sign. We start off with the Carvana. That means that we have a stronger chance. Carvanas we're not going to fight unless we need to, because their rough skin will wear us down over time. Another thing that's a little bit is, of course, my response time. Probably not the best. Getting old. I'm on a flat screen HD television on a GameCube playing a Game Boy game with inside of an emulator. So timing and all that's going to be off as well. But yeah, we're basically just fishing. And this is what we're going to be doing, guys. We're hoping to catch a Feebas. Now, it's 2 Carvana in a row, and this one's actually rather big. There's a strong chance we're not going to be able to shrug this one off, so we're just going to hit it. Oh, it's faster than us by far. Oh, that's unfortunate. Well, there goes Marsh Tomp. Alright. Oh, we got lucky. We got so lucky. Alright, let's go over to our super potions. Let's heal Marsh Tomp up twice, shall we? Let's top off the Marsh Tomp. Alright. So, the cool thing about Melodic is the way it also evolves in Generation 3 is you have to make it beautiful. Now, they cut. Okay, weird. It's going to hurt a little bit. Fine. It's going to hurt a little less. But in Pokemon Journeys, the new Netflix anime series that's been out for a bit now, they do have a Feebas that evolves into Melodic. And the way they handle it, I think I lost count. I know this is probably 5 though. But they use the contest system, and that's where we get beauty and cool and tough and all those kind of interesting ways of ranking Pokemon. Is from the contest stuff, and they do a really good job of basically portraying the contest mechanic on TV. And they basically make Milotic evolve by all that. Ooh, that's it's definitely a different Supersonic. Ugh. One of the worst moves. I hate getting hit by Supersonic. We can surf and it'll take it out. I hit the button too many times. Now, the good thing about Feebas is it's basically in the, I wouldn't necessarily call it good, but yeah, a good thing about Feebas is it's basically in the same camp as Magikarp in how it is largely useless. So leveling it up becomes a bit of a chore. Alright, we got away safely and we shouldn't have. Wow. But now we have EXP share. And we have a couple of rare candies. And we've got some Pokeblocks. We should be really good. Or we got some berries, rather. We'll be making some Pokeblocks. Magikarp, Magikarp. Not what we wanted. It's Magikarp. I've seen some people that have done this. They've gone through and done some sillier things, right? Like, they just fished each spot once and moved on. Some of those people have caught some Pokemon. Some of them have gone through this whole entire map. only letting it bite on their line once and saying there's no Feebas in my water, and then fly all the way back to Duford, and then reset their actual statement, their phrase. I can honestly say that that has never worked for me in a proficient manner. Those people usually start doing this when they have fly also, but since we've been grinding a little bit, but not really grinding on our Pokemon the way we normally do, because we're not devoting all of our time to this game, we definitely want the edge that having a Feebas will give us. The hour we're going to spend fishing these waters today is probably going to save us 9 hours of playtime, providing we find a Feebas, right? Alright, and we're just going to move next up. Now, the other thing to mention is Feebas will only appear by fishing. You cannot run over a Feebas and have it attack you. That's a good sign again. We got a Carvanha right off the bat. Now, there are some people that mention that the Super Rod is a better way to do this also. The Super Rod has a better pool of Pokemon to fish from, because it'll only be Feebases and Carvanha in the spot where a Feebas can be. And I guess it wouldn't be a bad idea if we had chosen a different starter Pokemon. Sharpedo would be a great Pokemon to get from here. And we have Swampert, and so we have some really good type coverage with that. Got a pretty good fight here. Get some experience there, get some from Gyarados. We got 2 more in this fishing hole to go for, this tile. If I don't mess my timing up. And that's a Magikarp, which is unfortunate. And it's a Magikarp also. Okay, well, I feel like out of the 5 casts we had a pretty decent start, but not decent enough. Now, if you systematically go through and fish every single spot here, as we are doing, there is odds if you fish it every tile, fish 5 times, there is a chance, a percentage chance, that has been documented based upon all of the statistics for all of the tiles for the whole entire spot, that we could still wind up not seeing a Feebas in the whole entire map. Now, that is 1.6%. I mean, every time that we fish 100% of this place, 5 casts per tile, every 100 times we do it, almost 2 times will come up empty. Now, we have some pretty good luck on this channel. I wouldn't put it past us to have some bad luck sometimes, but I'm pretty confident that we're not going to get into that kind of luck. It'd be kind of bad. Kind of bad. More Magikarp. Well, sometimes the luck's just not there. And to be fair, you know, we've only fished about 10 tiles. We're going to go one more cast here, and then we're going to start backfilling this row. Next, we're going to go here and then turn that way. Oh, there's a Carvana. Let's see what we get here. Not horrible, not great. This we're gonna have to fight. And this we're possibly going to lose to because of Supersonic. Because of stuff like that. But thankfully we do have some pretty good stats and luck. Hoping for the best here. Boom, 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 boom. Magikarp, go away, please. Do, 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 do. Well, Magikarp again. I feel like this fishing tile, not the best. So we're going to go over one and then turn around. And we're going to do that for this whole entire row here, guys. And it's systematic. You know, it's... Thankfully, you know, it means that we know exactly where we're at. It means we know exactly what we're fishing for. It means we know exactly where we've been to be systematic about this. But it does mean that it's going to take a while. Boom, 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 boom. The big advantage, though, to this game for how this is all set up, right? Double beam will hurt a little bit. Critical hurts a lot. Oh my gosh. Okay. But when we get low on our Pokemon attacks, we can fairly quickly make note of where we're at, use Alakazam to we have 10 ethers. I don't think we really want to ether this though, do we? I mean, Yeah, we'll just keep the hit points where it's at right now. Oh, Magikarp. How we hate thee. And love thee all at the same time. Magikarp is such a great Pokemon when you're trying to get a Gyarados. When you're wanting to find a Feebas, not so much. Now, one of the original myths for Pokemon Emerald and Ruby and Sapphire involving Route 119 was that Feebas was only catchable when it was raining. And I don't know how that started. I really don't. It's like the Mew truck thing from Gen 1. Someone said it, another person said, yeah, exactly. You know, and a lot of people, probably younger people, all confirmed, yeah, that's exactly what I heard. That's exactly what my buddy said. That's exactly what I had happen. It was raining when I caught one. And it became this, like, urban legend that you only caught a Feebas when it was raining. And it's just not true. They've done deep dives in it. They've gotten data pools on it. They know for a fact that at the end of the day, it can be sunny, it can be rainy, and you have just as much chance to catch a Feebas. At the end of the day, it is 6 tiles. Of those 6 tiles, you've basically got a 20% chance for a Feebas to jump on the hook. It's just a little under 20%, which is why ideally you'd want to cast your line in 6 times. But that's just a lot of times. I got one more. And realistically, even if we're casting 5 times, right? The odds of catching the Feebas in any of the other 5 slots that it could be in is just the same odds as the one that we only cast our line into 5 times. So we should eventually come across the Feebas doing this. Is there some argument that we would catch it sooner by casting it all 6 times? Yes. Not incorrect. That's if one of the tiles that has a Feebas is spawned sooner in the map. And what I mean by that, so imagine, if you will, that there's 100 tiles on this map that are in water. I don't remember how many tiles there are, otherwise I'd be able to give you an exact figure. But, hey Keo, how's it going, man? But of those 100 tiles, let's imagine, if you will, that the 10th tile has a Feebas in it. And we're casting 6 per tile, catching a Pokemon 6 times on each tile. That means by the time we hit that 10th tile, and let's say the Feebas is the 6th cast, we really needed that 6th cast. That means we've cast our line in the water 60 times and caught a Pokemon 60 times and managed to catch it. Letting the truck warm up. Alright. So that's 6 times, right? That's 60 casts. Now, let's say that we don't get that lucky, alright? Let's say, just for the sake of argument, while we're trying to catch us a Feebas, that it comes up and we get it on the 20th. Alright. Well, that's 120 casts. Okay. So now let's, again, we're saying that there's 100 of these tiles possibly. And so now we're going to go into some really, really crazy math. Alright? And we're going to say that there, instead of there being in the 20th, let's say we have the very worst possible odds. We're going to go with worst case scenario odds here, right? 100 tiles, we're always guaranteed to have a Feebas in the 6 tiles, right? And once you catch a Feebas, that tile is going to have a lot of Feebases in it. So we get to tile 95 and haven't caught a single Feebas. Alright? And unbeknownst to us, our horrible luck, wouldn't you know it, Feebas is in 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, and tile 100. The last 6 tiles on the whole map are the only Feebases on the map. Really bad odds, but random is as random does. And that is absolutely a possible outcome to the way this is going. And I know you're thinking, okay, alright, Mag, so we'll say that the luck for that 95th tile is horrible, and it has to be the 6th cast for us to catch that. Well, I know what you're asking yourself right now. Every 20 is 120 casts. So that means by the time we've done 80 tiles, that's, you know, all of the tiles leading up to that spot before we have those last 15. We wind up having 480 casts. That's 4 sets of 20 times 6, so 480. And then we have those last 15, so 81 through 95, and that's going to be an additional 90. So that's going to be 570 casts. 570 casts, that's a lot. I don't care who you are. 570 casts is just bone crushing, you know, depressing, right? But we already know that the odds of catching a Pokemon in the Feebas spot is a 20% thing. Well, almost a 20% thing, right? That's why we do it 6 to be sure. Well, let's say that we only cast our rod in, like we're doing, 5 times, right? And let's say that we do it for all 100 tiles, and we have the worst luck, and it's the same way. It's the last 5. Now, we just pointed out that if we were to do 5 casts per tile, or 6 casts per tile, that after we did the 95th one, that we're actually looking at it being, you know, 570 casts. If we only do 5 casts per tile, that's easy math. 5 times 100. Even if we don't catch it in the first 99 tiles, we still are casting our line in the water 70 times less to guarantee to catch a Feebas. So that's what I mean by faster. So if we have bad luck, and you know, the statement is, if it wasn't for bad luck, I wouldn't have any luck at all. That sometimes applies. If you're expecting bad luck, then statistically plan for it. That's how statics works, right? That's how statistics works. When you understand the way that it all pours out in what you're trying to do, what you're trying to accomplish. In this case, being statistically less per each individual for the worst possible outcome, we're going to wind up actually coming out on top. Now, that's not to say that, you know, our luck isn't to where it might happen in the first 7. Clearly it hasn't, because we would have had one by now, right? But if it happened in the first 7, we would have it still faster. Let's say like the first 2 were blanks and the last, the first 1 was blank and the last 6 were there, and we caught it, we would be a little bit behind. But there is a place where the tipping point occurs, and it's like the first 70 tiles, something like that, 60 tiles. But it basically becomes mathematically better for the 5 casts versus the 6 casts. But all it boils down to still is systematically hitting these tiles up one by one and putting a Pokemon on the line and pulling it up. Now, it should be noted that per the randomization and the attack tiles, I know some of you probably asked yourself at this point, Mag, you keep messing up the cast, you keep missing the fish, you keep not getting a Pokemon on the hook. What if those are your 6? They're not. The actual Pokemon you wind up fighting isn't determined by the game until it actually says you're being attacked. Pokemon on the hook is just a mini game. It loads up way before we get to this point. When we get to this point, when we actually see the battle screen happen, that's when the game decides who you're playing against. Hey, level 34 Marshtomp. Sweet. Bum, bum, bum. And Magikarp does a little dance, and we'll run away. We need like 2 more casts here, and we'll have our 5. And that's unfortunately a Magikarp, and a rather big one at that. We might be able to get this guy. Nope. And of course, this is the one Magikarp that finally uses Tackle against us. Alright, one last one. Now, the best part about this is we are going to not exactly cheat. We wanted to basically make a stream about this because we do want to highlight that which is the dark ages of Pokemon. That's one of the things that is the point of this series, right? Sword and Shield, lots of really great improvements. Some of the really good improvements kind of started around Black and White, in my opinion. with how traveling from cities was a lot more simplified. Sun and Moon kind of added some interesting things to where you didn't have to have utility Pokemon anymore. HM utility Pokemon kind of really kill a team in some cases. So, you know, we wanted to be able to highlight that once we get back to playing Pokemon Sword and Shield, which is what we intend to do after this. Is we intend to go and play on Sword and Shield and play through the new content on there. So Pocket Monster Monday will be here for most of 2021, we suspect. But we wanted to really kind of show how things were done. Now, I'm going to keep this game on for probably not the whole entire time, but because it could, you know, do some really bad screen burn in and possibly overheat the cartridge. I'm not sure if that would absolutely happen or not. But next week, when the weekend comes, we plan to spend part of our time doing this exact same thing. And lo and behold, should a Feebas be on the line at any point, we will simply just let that game, we'll turn off the monitor, let the game just sit there, and hopefully it won't lock up on us. And even if it does, we will know the tile that it's on, and so we'll be able to catch it up on stream. But I really wanted to kind of highlight, back in ye old dark ages of the Hoenn region, how important catching a Feebas was, especially for competitive players, because Melodic is just a beast of a Pokemon. It has one of the best special attacks. It is one of the, as far as the typing goes, and it's got a better defense stat. It is one of the best tanky kind of water Pokemon, with a great robust moveset. So there's some work you could do with it. A lot of good work. And ideally, you would want to go for like a calm moveset. Be able to kind of tank it, not worry about your physical attack, and go from there. I've seen some people mess around with Bold. I don't know. I really wasn't keen on the way the Bold Pokemon were built for that. It would be amazing if we caught a Feebas on stream today. I would feel great if we caught one in the next 15 minutes. Realistically, probably not going to happen. Some really small odds. But still a possibility. I mean, slow and steady wins the race, and for Feebas catching, possibly loses all your hair. Well, there's a Carvana. We'll cast one more time here before going to the next spot. Oh, we got carped. Carp. Oh well. It's just the way it goes sometimes. So we have 3 more in this section to go after this one. And we'll be hopefully hitting a Feebas, but you never know at this point. And just a reminder, Troll Club, you know, we are on a new schedule for 2021. Our streams are Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, and they are now locked in place for now. Friday is Fortnite Save the World. Saturday is Kingdom Hearts Remix 1.5 Final Mix, I think is what it is. It's a great game. We're stuck in the jungle of Starzan right now in it, but you know, it's part of the storyline. It's been pretty entertaining. I actually enjoy the game. Sundays, as those who were here yesterday may have seen, it is actually for Ark Survival Evolved. We caught us a Tapiyara and a Stegosaurus yesterday. Quite happy with that. And of course we have Pocket Monster Mondays. And it's just another Magikarp. Alright, Marshtomp. Let's go ahead and get away from that guy. So this square here. So this square, the one we're standing on, and the one to our right. And it's any square of water that you can actually access that can have a possible 6 out of however many tile chance of a Feebas square. And again, it's about a 2% chance that you can go through the whole entire map, casting your line in 5 times, and not ever catching a Feebas. We are really hoping to beat those odds. Oh! Looks like we're going to have to defeat us a Magikarp. That's a rather fast Magikarp. Of course, it's also a rather slow Swampert, or Marshtomp, so... And I don't know about you, Turtle Club, but when I go to sleep today, when I have myself a good night, I'm probably going to be hearing this surf music in my dreams. In my nightmares, where I'll be chased by Magikarp. Let's fish this one up. Well, there's a Carvana. Not a bad sign. Magikarp, on the other hand, kind of an unfortunate sign. At one point I could have told you what the odds of every fish inside of a Feebas pool was. I can no longer do that. I do know that if we get 2 Magikarp and a Carvana, it's not the starting of a good joke, it's actually the starting of a sad spot, possibly. We are going to fish 2 more times just to hit our 5. Nice, this one went right Johnny on the spot to it. Hey, it's a tentacle. Who has 2 tentacles and has cool in the name? That guy. And then our last cast for this spot. And another Magikarp. Not bad, but not great. And it's not a Magikarp, it's a Magikarp. Those two are spelled differently, probably, right? Now the great thing about Feebas, though, when we do get to it, it's like a 255 catch rate, and which I think is basically we throw any ball at it and it's ours. So they're not hard to catch. They're just hard to find. So now we're on this row, and you know, I really want to complete this row on the stream, but I was hoping to get that far. I mess up the timing a lot, which is unfortunate. But we'll see. Because if you look, every time we cast our line in, the minigame happens. And arguably it should be like 10 seconds. So it should be like 1 minute per tile, give or take. Plus the catch, the animation, and the exit. And occasionally the fighting, which in this case we have to do some more fighting. Hey, Freddy. Doing pretty good, man. Working on catching a Feebas in Pokemon Emerald. A very time-consuming, laborious process. Hope your Monday's going great today, Freddy. Now, what is kind of frustrating about the Feebas situation, as rare as they are still fairly rare by Generation 5. So in black and white, they're not the easiest thing to get a hold of still. But once we get to Gen 6, when we have the Omega Ruby Sapphire reboots, they're super easy to get. These things become ridiculously easy to get. Now, there's still just a very few places you can get there. Kind of says enough, as a famous orange cat once said. Yeah, Mondays are Mondays, right? It's unfortunate that they are what they are. They're the beginning of the week for some of us. For me, Monday morning is the end of my Monday shift, basically. Today is a holiday, though. You know, in the United States, it is Martin Luther King Jr. Day. MLK. So that's kind of cool. I mean, Our country gives some time off to many employees. I myself will be working tonight, but my company does pay well. For our holidays, we get paid thrice what we normally would get paid. So every dollar that I normally make on a shift today, I'll make $3, so I can't complain with that. Alright. Well, getting closer. Ever so closer. Still very, very far away from fishing every spot on this map. But we'll work on it, you know? Huh. You know, that's not a bad idea, Freddy. Most countries would have a small minor issue with that, I think, because the thing about the planet now is, for the most part, it's populated. So countries kind of set in stone. But, you know, you do bring up an interesting point. Like, say space exploration starts to be a thing, right? You get enough of your buddies together, take one of those Elon Musk rockets from SpaceX to Mars, land on there, make your own country on Mars. Start making up all your holidays at that point. Not a bad plan. I can get behind that. But who knows how far we are or how close we are to that these days. Very, very... You're not wrong, Freddy. You're not wrong. Atlantis absolutely was a nation unto itself before it sunk. I would dare say if you were to discover the nation of Atlantis and bring it up from the murky depths, I don't think anyone would have a problem with you marking like 260 days on the calendar as a holiday. Though to be fair, if you happen to be involved with the company that I work for, they're liable to point out that you've had the last couple of centuries off as a holiday, so you got a lot of catching up to do. Well, Turtle Club, we have officially, unfortunately, run out of time for the stream. I wanted to finish this row, it just wasn't in the cards. I am going to finish everything that is parallel to the little piece of land that's jutting out. So this square that I'm fishing right now, we're going to fish it 2 more times just to be on the safe side, because I did lose a little bit of count. And the square that I'm actually standing on top of right now. So there's a Carvana. That's a big Carvana too. Don't know if I want to use takedown on this thing or not, but I'm going to. Oh, we didn't want to get hit by Screech. We so didn't want to get hit by Screech. Okay, there's 37 from that, and then Rough Skin's going to take us down too. Alright, it wasn't too horrible. Alright, here's the last fishing up on this spot. Maybe it's always been a Monday under there. Hey, this is true. This is true. Maybe they didn't have a calendar, you know? Atlantis could have been just an all-the-time party nation for all we know. Probably not. Probably not. Well, this is... of the 5 casts left. Hey! Rella! Hope you're doing okay today. We're gonna use a potion. We got 4 more Pokemon we're gonna try to catch. Or we're gonna get on the line after this thing. And then we're gonna be ending the stream. But Turtle Club, that doesn't mean that you have to stop watching content today by any stretch of the imagination. Relaxing Funny Gaming, Relaxing FG, as she is in the YouTube name right here, is a fellow streamer of ours. Puts together some really cool content. I do recommend checking it out. If you have any interest in ASMR, absolutely there. And pretty much some just chill stuff, just like what we do. Come on, catch his stuff there. Wow, we expected that the next 4 bites would happen faster, but they're not. Oh, a lot of buckets in Atlantis? Yeah, I could say that, you know. There's either a lot of leaks in the roof in Atlantis, or it is possible that they just got the stopper in the drain, right? Kind of like if you take a shower and forget to take the stopper out of the tub, you can flood the tub. Well, same thing happened in Atlantis, maybe. Oh, I'm doing good. I'm doing good, Rella. Thanks for asking. It's we're trying to catch Feebas in Pokemon Emerald. It's a really good Pokemon. It's a strong water type, which also evolves into one of the few Pokemon that can reliably use Ice Beam in a productive manner, which is a great move to use against a couple of the gyms we have coming up and the Elite Four. And so we really would like to have that. It's very hard to find. In Pokemon Emerald, which is the version we're playing, the mechanic for finding it is in this one route on the map, randomly assigned 6 individual tiles are the only tiles you can catch it out. Lost a day of your life and still didn't get one. I spent maybe 5 or 6 days trying to catch my first Feebas way back in like 0405, and Digrat managed to catch hers in like a day and a half, and she caught like 2 of them and eventually hatched an egg for me. But being the stubborn sort I am at times, I said, okay, I really appreciate it. I've got one for my Pokédex, but I'm going to go all out and catch one just so I can say I did it. And then, you know, lo and behold, Omega Ruby and Omega Sapphire made it super easy to catch. Like, there's a spot in Omega Ruby Sapphire that is always guaranteed to have Feebas in it. It's like an animal of the country only being... Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, Freddy. It's like that, but in this case, you don't know which tree. No one knows where it's at. And at the end of the day, if you burn the whole forest down, you still don't know if you got the tree it was in. It's, I think that's like 3 or 4 casts. I'm going to do 2 more, just to be sure. But this is going to be where we'll end it, guys. Now, that's not to say that I'm personally done trying to catch a Feebas, because we still would like to have one on our team here for this. But we have devoted a whole stream to trying to catch this thing. And so, as I had mentioned, when we prep for the next streams, I'm going to systematically keep going through. That's why I wanted to end on this tile, so I can keep at with the other tiles. And we absolutely are going to continue going through them all. And if we do get a Feebas on the line during our stream prep over the course of our night before, we will start the stream back here trying to catch it. And so throughout the rest of this week, I feel fairly confident that we will find a Feebas tile. Be great if this was it, but I doubt it. I so doubt it. Well, that is a Carvana, not a Feebas. So, Turtle Club, this will unfortunately not yield the Pokemon that we were looking for. At the beginning, we hoped we might have stumbled across Atropius, but we did not. Our playtime, just because you guys are going to be curious, we're at 81 hours and 32 minutes on this game. It takes about 32 hours, according to places, to beat it. So we're 50 hours in the hole, but that's fine. Again, that's not us continually playing this game. That's us playing it and setting it, and moving on while it's in the background sometimes. But we've had a good day today. It's great to be able to just chill sometimes and work toward a goal. Even if you don't accomplish the goal, just knowing that you have visible progress is enough in many cases. So I'm gonna have myself a good night, Turtle Club. Keo, Freddy, Rella, thank you all for coming in and saying hey. Really appreciate it. I'm just a guy playing video games, and it's when you all show up and say hi that this really becomes a channel. So it really does mean a lot for you guys to come in and just visit and just chill with us. I'm going to have, as I said, a good night. You all have a good Monday, a good breakfast, good lunch, good dinner, good morning coffee. Whatever you're about to do, Turtle Club, stay safe, wash your hands, and have a good one. Take care, and thanks for watching, guys.